Now this is a load of all-terrain vehicles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. I just want to show you guys what I got on this mega deal. Let's call this quad number 1. It is your basic 125 with the old forward and reverse on it. I actually drove this one, and we're gonna have to spend some time into perfecting it, obviously. This seat is not the right seat, and it's got some other issues. Came with a really cool winch, and you know, it even works there. It's also got this plate underneath. I'm wondering if somebody tried to plow with it at some point. Anyway, we'll get it running and riding and all in another video, so you could see what it is. Let's call this quad number 2. This is your basic small little all-terrain vehicle, and it's very basic, as in it just does forward, right? There's no reverse. These are the ones you see for $5.99 or $4.99 or something like that. It's either 90 or 100 cc's. It could even be as small as 70. Very basic. Somebody got into the motor there for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. What they did. He threw this in with the deal. Generally speaking, if somebody wants to go into the repair business, if you ever find these, if you want to get it and fix it and ride it and learn from it, they're excellent for that. Because everything you have to do with this, you got to do with all the other four-wheelers, a lot of three-wheelers also. But unless for the small ones, unless they're really in absolute perfect condition, they're very, very hard to resell. Most people who buy them want to use them for their offspring, and they don't want any surprises of sticky throttle, brakes don't work, looks really ugly, and so forth and on. They really want them perfect. These guys, a little bit bigger. I mean, an adult could ride on that and, you know, use it as a lawn cart. When they're that small, people really want them pretty perfect for their kids. So you got to keep an eye on the cosmetics if you want to fix them up and sell them. Here is quad number 3. It's a Bigfoot with a GY6 motor on it. And you guys could see I already started to poke around with this a little bit. So you guys will see a video on this. The repairs on this so far have not gone that well. Obviously, it got here. But this one's being a little more of a challenge than I expected. So look forward to the video. You know, some things work out very quickly and some things don't. If the Yamaha proved to be dead, completely dead, seized, or whatever, this probably would have been the one we would have put our time into, because this is actually big enough for an adult to ride. So I also got this whole horde of parts with the deal. Wire harnesses, some of them for GY6s, some of them for 110cc stuff. I mean, complete key. We're talking stator, pulse generator. I mean, the whole shooting match. Also included some pit bike ignition stuff. So this stuff new, right? Ready to go. Looks like 4 or 5 complete ignition systems. Also in the assortment was this whole pile of used ignition parts, stuff that came off of things. Most of it is from the GY6 version, and you can see even somebody was ready to go with the GY6 stuff. Love the turn signals, right? I make use of this kind of stuff. Believe it or not, the connectors are really, really handy. You know, just all of this is helpful. Voltage regulator, they're pretty much universal. There's just one of those. So starting solenoid, they're more or less universal if it's alive. I found, generally speaking, with this stuff, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, do yourself a favor, throw it away. You don't want your troubleshooting contaminated by bad stuff. So at some point, I'm going to have to get things running, and then plug these in kind of one at a time to figure out what's alive and what's dead. Normally when I'm troubleshooting, I have a tendency to go to known good stuff or new stuff, and even when I go to new stuff, I have a tendency to try with a couple of them, because I have gotten some bad out of the package. I think I got one bad CDI, I think I got one bad coil, right? I got miswired wire harnesses where they put a couple of pins in the wrong places. You know, this stuff is made very inexpensive, and there's a reason why it's inexpensive. They're producing a lot of it very quickly. Also in the batch, he gave me a bunch of parts for 110cc. I mean, we're talking full cylinder head valves, the whole shoot match gasket set. And then also included was this second one. So, you know, I love my parts. So that's just crazy handy. Should I decide to do something with the 110 or 90 or whatever it is he gave me, or if I make a decision to do something with one of the pit bikes. I think I have a pit bike engine that needs a top end, so that's handy to have. Also included a horde of carburetors. That's a pit bike, but it came with the intake and the air filter. This is intake manifold, air filter, and a GY6 carburetor. The GY6 carburetor has the bivalve, as they call it there. What that does is when it's cold, the choke is open, the enrichment circuit path through the carburetor is opened, and as the engine warms up, there's electricity going through this thing, and there's actually a fluid in here that as it gets warm, it expands and it turns off the enrichment circuit. You can't just hook this directly to 12 volts. If you do, you'll burn the element out. You have to put a 10 ohm resistor in parallel with it. I think I might try seeing if one could put a light bulb in parallel with it, which would make life even easier, even better. This looks like a PZ30. Actually, it says right on there, PZ30 carburetor. Can never have too many spares. So I've got that. And in here, this looks like a PZ27 with a intake manifold for a Honda 200S 185, you know, that series motor, and it came with the air cleaner. So he gave me a whole horde of parts, right? The nice thing about this assortment of parts, when you need something, you could kind of rummage through all of this. Kevin Bergeron also gave me some disassembled small cc, you know, 110cc motors. The trick with Kevin Bergeron's pile, he gave me all the nuts and bolts. Those nuts and bolts are crazy valuable. The flange, not valuable as in they're worth a lot of money. You can buy them on eBay for 20 bucks, a full set. but crazy valuable that, oh man, I need a bolt, and there it is right in the pile. You don't have to wait for it, you don't have to dig for it. It's all kept separately. On a separate note, he brought along this Seafoam quick action, and he left it. He had more than one of these. He said he had another can at home. And I gotta tell you, out of all the rust penetrant stuff, he said he saw a video, Joe saw a video, that a guy really recommended this stuff. And the guy wasn't sponsored or anything. So Joe bought a couple of cans, and he's been using it, and he says it really works. And, you know, I kind of take everything, yeah. You know, I'm kind of a PB blaster guy myself. But we sprayed a bunch of bolts, particularly fender-type bolts on the Moto4. And I gotta tell you, you spray them, and the stuff like fizzes. I mean, like, really goes crazy. Like hornet nest fizzes. And then the bolts just backed out. No fuss, no muss. I was amazed. Could be that there were a bunch of lucky bolts that we just happened to use this stuff on, and they would have come out anyway. But I don't think so. They really look like they were going to fight me. And this stuff just worked well. So Seafoam Deep Creek. So there you go. Anyway, I think that's about it for the deal. I really want to thank Joe for coming up here, hauling it all here in that U-Haul trailer, dropping it off. I mean, he came quite a distance. He was fun to hang with, you know, telling stories and eating bagels and diner afterwards and so forth. So it was cool. It's also nice to have an assistant so that every time you need a wrench, you don't have to get up and fetch for it or stand up and reach over for it, right? It was helpful to have him to be able to hand me things, or to be able to, hey, get that side while I'm doing this side. So it was really good. He's fun to work with. If he has trouble with the Moto4, he'll have to take another visit up here, and we'll straighten it around. Anyway, I really want to thank everybody for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember, feet down, heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.